So there are aspects of the Pi Suite that we are going through, and things are changing, and just we're bringing up the parts that are tedious so that it gets adjusted over time. So things that are tedious are the very specific instances like this one right here, where we can look at all of these other steps and the numbers of machines associated with all of these other steps. And then we look at this one and see that it is 2 to 3 times higher than most of the other steps in this process in terms of the number of buildings for this particular one step right here. So that is telling that this particular recipe needs to be sped up by at least twice. The speed of this recipe needs to happen about twice as fast as it currently does. This one being the silver lead solution stage 1. So that's really the defining difference on complexity versus tedium. It's like, this is complexity, just the number of things that are listed here. This is complexity. The number of machines required on one particular step here being 65, that is tedium. That is tedium. Because you're going to have to set up and copy paste and take the time to set up 65 machines rather than actually setting up the rest of your chain. But anyway, that's just one example. I think the flotation cells in general end up having really high building counts just across the board in Pi raw ores in particular, but eh. Would I recommend Pi without alien life as a first Pi playthrough? I would recommend Pi without Pi high tech and Pi alien life as a first playthrough. That would probably be the intro to the Pi Suite, would be to play without high tech and alien life. That's the like baseline beginner mode for the Pi Suite. If you're just coming off of Angels and you don't want just a huge step up of complexity, high tech is what makes circuits what they are. So high tech is what dramatically alters circuit production to be very time consuming. It makes circuit production look a little bit like where is it? It's this. So circuit 1s. Where do circuit 1s begin? Where do circuit 1s begin of this mall? Here. So, you know, that's right here to right here. Right here to right here. Between Pi high tech and Pi alien life. Circuit 1s are, and it's a little bit further back too for these things right here. So really it's like right in here, this plastic, all the way to right here. So the main bus, all of this stuff here, that's circuit 1s. When you have alien life and high tech. This stuff right here at the end, this stuff is high tech. The existence of the urea and the raw fiber stuff, that this stuff in here, this is the Pi high tech component, and then this stuff over here, primarily, this is the Pi alien life component. Like, most of all this stuff on the right side is the alien life component stuff. And this part over here is mostly the high-tech component stuff. So, depends on what you want in your complexity. It really does. Depends on your desires. Okay, I was looking at these buildings so we can get on with getting the high-grade lead and silver set up. I am tempted to do this off-screen, by the way, because it's like I have a tutorial video that goes over these processes and like has builds-ish with these processes. Like I have a whole video talking about doing high-grade lead and silver on my YouTube channel, and it feels like we've done this, but I do think I want to show this because I haven't built it at this scale before. I think I have not built this scale. So let's see. I know I have Mark II filters. That's why I had the full hell mod up, is because I was in the process of doing Mark II upgrading of stuffs. So let's get the Mark II of those, because those exist there. Hydrocyclones. Let's get the Mark II of those. Looks like the Mark III stuff is there too. Yeah. And yeah, I did a high grade setup of all of the different Pi Raw Ores stuff on the Pi Off the Rails playthrough. But that particular playthrough, I only got to the point of doing quantum computing for a little bit of space science, and I didn't really play much more beyond just that. I hit the win state, which is quantum computing space science, for that particular playthrough. Here we have a few extra goals to extend a little bit past that, in the form of doing 1 science per second of stuff. I know I've set up the flotation Mark IIs. I know that I set those up. They're right here. I've got some flotation Mark IIs to help cut this down a bit. Leaching. I mean, it's only using 2 leaching stations, but I guess while I'm doing all of this, I should set these things up. Where are you? Where even is leaching? Leaching? Where is that icon? Did I even? There it is. There it is. Leaching. Which thingy are you under? Here. There we go. Automated screeners. Yes, I just need to put the doohickey and also get lots of you. And I set up the ball mills, and I set up the hydroclassifiers. The secondary crushers. Yep, get that one going. That's there. I think we're good. Impact crushers. Where are those? Here. Impacts are a different tab entirely. There you are. Good. So this is going to consume like all of my circuit 2s. By the way, I'm not going to have blue science happening at all, really. But hey, I can officially start planning this out as Mark II stuff. Not like I really have to carry around the Mark II stuff. If I ever were to build this again, we can be like, hey, this is Mark II stuff. See how much of a difference it makes going up to the Mark II versus the Mark I? In terms of the building count there, it brought it down significantly, but it's still significantly more buildings than all of the other Mark II stuff. BOFs! BOFs and casting units. Those are the other two that I would like to see at Mark II. Castings are here. Limit that chest, and then the basic oxygen furnaces are right here. Buffs! Beautiful, glorious, wonderful buffs, and that is limited on those chests. Alright. So. That, I think, is that. Oddly enough, I do have a solid separator Mark II already set up. We need to look at not only this, but we need to look at a few side things. A few side things exist in here. We have Cyanic Acid. That needs to be addressed. It's going to be that one. On the Cyanic. Why? Excuse me. So again, this is one of those like really effed up things about Hellmod. Why is it not doing the thing? It's because I'm in Matrix Solver A, and it just can't. It just doesn't know what to do. It just doesn't know what to do. I have to have a separate thing for this. 53.58 cyanic through that recipe. Now, it's not, even if I tell it that it's a linked block, it's like, hey, how much do I need of this cyanic as an ingredient? As an ingredient, how much cyanic do I need? It doesn't let me. It doesn't adjust it specifically because I'm in ingredient input mode. So I have to say 53.58. That's how much is there. Now, does it do the thing here? Yes, it does. Hey, there it is. 53.58 as the ingredient input. There it is. This is how you do the thing. And I need double 107.2. I need 214.4. That number's there. Okay. That number's there on this Z3 reagent, which should be in raw ores. Maybe. But Z3. There you are. Hey, it's telling me how much stuff to do the thing. Phosphorus acid. Have I checked out yet another Factorio calculator? Seems to handle loops better than FNEI. I don't use FNEI. I use what is it really used for? And I use Hell mod. I use Hell mod. And yeah, I have looked at it. I have not figured out uh how to actually make it see the stuff in the Pi suite. I don't want to figure it out. I don't want to learn another thing. What is the deal with Tholins? Like, what is it for? So Tholins give you a whole bunch of things. Like, so Tholins, you create Tholins out of thin air. Out of thin air, it just mines in a building Tholins, and you can convert the Tholins into any of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, hydrogen, syngas, acetylene, acid gas, cyanic acid, ethylene, benzene, ammonia, methane, acetone, chlorine, methanol, refined syngas, formaldehyde, propene, glycerol, olefins, deuterium, and helium-3. It's incredibly slow at doing this, and it uses a lot of power. Tholins has been reverted for the moment. They're not dead yet. They're being changed. Tholins are in the process of being updated to still fulfill a very similar role that they currently do. The whole point of them is to get a trace amount of something without having to do the full setup. So, for example, with acetone, if you don't generally need a ton of acetone to begin with for a number of processes. If you only need a little bit of it, that you can just put down some Tholin plants. You're spending a whole bunch of power. It does take a certain amount of space to do this, but it prevents having to do the whole chain to get acetone just to get like the few units per second that you need. That was the point of them, is to get trace amounts for something if you don't really have the ability to set up an infrastructure for it, or if you don't want to set up a big infrastructure for something that you just need a little bit of. Anyway, that is Tholins. I need the block for soda ash. Are you showing me the soda ash? Yes, you are. Because of course you are now. Come on, soda ash. There you are. I have no interest in learning how to do YIFC. None. I have no interest in an out-of-game calculator. Zero interest in an out-of-game calculator. I am fine using Hellmod as my calculator for my base. There are no issues with this. Cough, cough. So he says. In general, there are not issues with this. I need olefins as a separate block. Excuse me, olefin. Oilies. I need not olefins. What am I thinking? Oleochemicals. Oleochems. So if you're wondering why I was setting up lard, this would be why. Oh right, I would really like sporopollenin, but not for oleochems because refined syngas. But anyway. And alien bacteria is really expensive. That's the one. So 250 versus 300 out plus glycerol. Yeah, I'm going with this. Particular setup. So that is 7.15 lard. We're making 30 lard, by the way. That's a pretty big chunk of that 30 lard. And then what other things? I think that's it. Just filtration media, but I'm sort of already making that. That's being brought in by train, or will be brought in by train. The oxygen's just a single electrolyzer. I've already brought sand casting. Uh, I can actually set the fuel on this to actually be coke. So it actually tells you how much coke it's using. This is lime ingredient. Okay. I can add that in. I shouldn't have to do this, by the way, but I am doing it anyway. Lime as an ingredient to get the amount that I need. What else? I think that's it now. I have the borax by train. I'm pretty sure I'm done. I have to deal with tailings as a byproduct, and I have to deal with sand as a byproduct. But otherwise, we are good. And I don't think I'm missing any pieces of this either. So that should be that. And now when I look at the full production line, this should show me all of the things that I need in here. So what I need to do is I now need to go into each of these steps and further break down how I'm going to get all of these things. So coal, I don't have to worry about so much. I don't think I actually have a train for coal, oddly enough. I don't believe I have a train for coal, but I'm going to do this without Thorns at this point, because they're going to be completely changed, and I should avoid using them at the moment. That's going to be the ammonia, and then the methane, of course, is going to be made out of... Ooh, that's a good question. I should do the CO2 based recipe. Hello, low density structures. Welcome. I will not be making you for a very long time, but you now exist, and that is good. I am surprised I have not picked up like any of this at all. Just because I can't use it really. I'm pretty sure I could make a modular armor, but I would actually lose 10 inventory slots. Oh, and it's Dinkert pelts. Cause sure. Cause yeah, sure. Dingert pelts. I would need, I think, power armor to maintain my current inventory size versus my Tiny Start Mark II armor. And I would need circuit 3s for this. This would, however, have a larger equipment grid that I could actually use some equipment on. So it is worth going for that at circuit 3s, but blue belts, sure. We'll do blue belts. The guard seed thing, a biomass recipe to... What are you talking about? A guar seed thing. A biomass recipe depends on that a lot. I don't know what you're talking about. I think the guar to biomass is like one guar to one biomass, and then it's I think 10 seeds to one biomass, which is the same ratio as guar to seeds, and then it goes, the guar gum is one biomass as well, so it's not actually worth doing biomass at Agora Gum at all. Anyway, let's see. Do I need to break anything else down here? Well, yes, the CO2, but that can come from biomass, and that can come from whatever. It doesn't matter what it comes from. What shall it come from today? Moss. Moss. I'm thinking moss. Moss from that. And yeah, matrix solve, and that's the thing. That is a quenching tower? The F? Quenching tower. Where are you in this mess? There you are. I want the Mark II of you. Looks like I may have the Mark III as well available. Can't actually do anything with the Mark III yet, because look at all these wonderful things that the Mark IIIs require. Oh boy. A convoluted balance talk, okay. Let's see. Do I need anything else broken down here? No, because I'm going to bring in... Well, yes, I need this so that I can see how much net moondrop I'm using out of this. It cycles on the moondrop, and that should be taken care of with the matrix solver? Should be, anyway. 1.79. Input 0.67. There it is. That's the actual input requirement, 0.67. That's how much is going to get consumed from the train. The rest is actually looped back in, so it's 1.2 minus 0.53. That's how much input I need there. Next, I need to look at not the phosphorus, but the carbonyl sulfide and which method of methanol I will be using on this day. There are many ways of making methanol. And that uses a lot of Nexilate. That is only 120 per nichrome. I don't think I'm willing to... I don't know. I don't think I want to spend the nichrome, and I don't know about spending the zinc either. I could spend oleochems. No. Even though I need to make the oleochems anyway. So the reason is that this is a lot of Nexilate 3.58. That's why I really don't want to do that way. Natural gas. I do not like the concept of spending. Yeah, Molly does not know. How does this look? Decent. This is the one. Yeah, the tin chromium natural gas is the one, not from methane. No. That would mean having to scale up the moondrop setup even further, and just no. Why would I? I have how many Like, how many oil wells do I have around here? I have so many, and I have so access to so much natural gas. It just no. I have the sulfur already. I am really thinking I need to get a train for coal going. Um, Propene under normal circumstances is this. Oh, please ignore that. Thank you. We can tell it to ignore the other product. Can you believe it? So, control click. Control left click now in Hellmod. You can say, hey, I don't want it to be that as the primary thing. Because I guess some other part in this production block needs water. So it's like, hey, I'm going to take all this water and somewhere else is going to get used. No, control click. And that, use Thorns. No, thank you. The whole point is to avoid the Thorns. And of course, the Syngas. I will note that there is a recipe that gives you both methane or methanol and syngas. Can we appreciate that that does exist? But gosh, so many ways of getting good amounts of syngas. I've got setups. Why would I spend nickel? Just no. Why would I spend nickel on that? Just more with oxygen from coal gas, from whatever method of getting coal gas. It actually doesn't matter at all in the slightest. Just the normal way. Just the normal way on the syngas. Needs steam, but yeah, we can get the steam. We're bringing in coal anyway. I could do like, I don't know, the syngas as well. Put in an oil burners and use syngas. That's a way as well to go about it. Doesn't matter. Like the easiest is coal because I have to bring it in anyway for the carbonyl sulfide. But all that for that much Z3 reagent to process the stuff. Now, I do realize it is 7 past the hour now, spent looking at Hellmod. Have I done everything that I need to do? I just need to set that recipe, and I think I'm good here. Just for completeness, that one. So, yeah. There's the factory. That's the factory as it stands. For high grade lead and silver, the just ignore that 18 per second output on the silver for the moment. I am going to have a couple of things at the very end that are going to share to make lead and to make silver. It's the same buildings, it's just different recipes. They all begin the same. You have complete control over how much lead versus silver you make. That's the point of this. So yeah, that'll be that. Very complex, of course. Requires a bunch of space that I probably don't have at my lead currently. So I might have to do this separately, like ship the lead dust. But we shall see. This is going to be a project for the next stream. So what got done today was planning the lead build, planning the lead build, as well as finishing the lard build. The lard is done. Full 30 per second on the lard. The only I know. We will end off on the note of making the input request for the mall for lard. The mall shall request lard. What are you supposed to request, and why do you not have any? Ah, because you are arriving. That's why. That is why you are simply arriving. In the process of arriving. Alright, let's get signals going. Yes, need to rename the thing. I am missing that signal. There's probably several signals I'm missing along the lines. This is mall lard. Ah, that reminds me. I need to define the lard. Where does lard exist? Here. Next to mixed ores. Directly next to mixed ores. Lard. Lard Depot 1. There is that. Defined, and there shall be the lard requested. The trains are on their way. The lard shall soon be flowing freely around here. Once I get the high grade setup done on the silver/lead, it's then onto the Fagnot Bone Factory. I think it's going to be what I end up doing is a Fagnot Bone Factory with gas bladders, I guess, as a secondary setup for them. But yeah, bones, brains, blood. I will need blood too. I need to make sure that I add that to the list. Blood. We need the stuff. Soon. Probably before brains. Nah, after. Yeah, before brains. Brains are gonna be I think Arthurians. We shall see. I'm undecided what my brains factory is going to be at this point, but because even though Arthurians are 2, I don't know if I want to do Arthurians there, use them for brains. We shall see. We shall see, but that's stuff. There's so much stuff on the list, and I just keep tacking stuff on. But yeah, next is high grade. With that, folks, as I zoom out so we can appreciate the entirety of this factory thus far, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you're watching the VODs on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/OtakuShowboat, leave a follow to be notified when I go live Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can do all of the social stuff through the links below the video, including supporting Pyandon's Mods development and at patreon.com/Pyandon, and myself at patreon.com/OtakuShowboat. I will, of course, be back on Tuesday so that we can begin working on this silver high-grade factory. I hope to see you all then.